Hello.
Hi everyone, a very good morning to all of you. Can all of you hear my voice clearly? I hope you can. Good. Morning. So we'll start with the class. Is anybody having the test coming up soon, next week or so?
Yes, I have.
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay, so those who have a test, kindly take a mock test on the portal so that we can check it for you and give you feedback as well. All right. And again, I would want to remind a lot of you, sometimes students follow that one line technique in read aloud, which is quite popular on YouTube. Kindly do not try it in the real exam. So many times I've seen the reading score and the speaking scores go down very quickly. So please don't try it out in the real exam. Okay. All right. So I'll share my screen with all of you and we will start with the mock test. And those of you who take a mock test at home from our portal or from any portal, kindly keep some disturbance on in the background, because in the real exam, it's quite noisy, so that you get real test like, conditions at home as well. And secondly, if you want, you can also come to the institute and take the mock test. We are open from Monday to Thursday, 4 days a week. So you can come from 10 in the morning till 7 in the evening. Our address is 118 Queen Street, level 1. And would request everybody to keep their webcam on throughout the session, please. It's compulsory. Thank you. So this is the first question on the screen. As you can see, it's a reorder paragraph question. You have 1 minute and 30 seconds. Your time starts now. Okay, guys, time up. Let's please check the answers now. If you want, you can also unmute your mic and participate. So how do you think this will start? Which will be the introduction?
Number 3.
Number
Number
3.
3.
3.
4 to 6.
3.
Which is the more general statement out of all these four? It is not 3. You always start with a broader statement, right? And then you narrow down your options. So it's always like an inverted triangle. Big, small, small, small. You know, something like that.
1,
1.
4.
See, you can see like 1 and 3 are very specific things about eating the marshmallow. Okay. So yeah, then you're left with 2 options, 2 and 4.
4.
2 says if you don't eat this tree. Yeah. So, you know, you have to always start with a broader statement because it's basically about higher general competency later in life, you know. So if you can resist a temptation, you can resist bigger things, you know, so you're more competent. That's the broader meaning of this passage. So actually it should start with number 4.
Are you sure, Malcolm?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Busy? I am.
Because I've done this in the practice.
I'm pretty sure about this. After this,
1. Number 1. 1.
see, try to correlate. What is 4 talking about? It is talking about
A temptation.
a temptation. Temptation means you're attracting somebody by, you know, giving a lollipop, for example, giving money. You're tempting somebody to do something.
Number 3. Number 2. 2.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Out of 1, 2, and 3, which sentence is indicative of a temptation or a bribe? Which one?
2.
Number 2, right?
Yeah.
If you do this, you will get this. If you don't do that, you will not get that. If you don't eat this treat means like something sweet, you can have both this and the second one. So that is the example of giving a temptation. Isn't it or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, as you can see in number 2, they are specifically talking about some time, 15 minutes. That is the temptation. So then in continuation with 2, you try to link
Number
number
1.
1. Because 1 is
One.
also talking about the time span a child can resist eating that marshmallow. Okay. And 3 is more like a generic loose conclusion to the story, you know, that if it's a 4 or 6-year child, they will sit alone in the room facing a marshmallow on a plate because they want to resist the temptation as long as they can to get both the treats, the first and the second one. Okay. So the maximum points you can get in this one is 3 out of 3. So you get 1 for 4-2, 1 for 2-1, and 1 for 1-3. You get 1 point per pair. Okay. So if you have a paper and a pen, you can just write down your score. We are doing 3 to 4 questions for reorder paragraphs first, and then we will move on to fill in the blanks. So you can just write down 3 out of 3, 4 out of 3. So those of you are not clear, let's say your answer is 2, 1, 3, sorry, 2, 1, 3, 4. For example, if this is your answer, how many points do you get? You still get 2 points. 1 for 2, 1, this pair.
Yep.
And 1 for 1, 3, the next pair. Okay. But you won't get for 3, 4 because that is not correct in this second answer. So just be careful with the scoring. Okay, now let's move on to the next question, please. Would request all of you to keep your mic on mute, and later when we discuss, you can unmute again. Okay, thank you. Okay, question number 2 is about a GPS. A GPS means a global positioning device, like your Google Maps. So your time starts now. All right, guys, time up. I think it should be done by now. This question is not that hard. So how do you think it's going to start?
4.
Number 4.
4.
Number
Four.
4.
I also agree. It will start with number 4. People didn't know pandas well. After that,
1.
1.
Number 3.
3.
Number 3.
Number 1.
3.
see, number 4 is talking about pandas. That is a subject. And here you have the pronoun them. Who are them or who are they?
Pandas.
We're talking about pandas. There will be 1. So first people didn't know them. Now people know them and they attach a GPS to them. After that, what will come?
Number 2.
Number
Yeah.
2.
This GPS, right? The one attached to the pandas can transmit data a couple of hours or up to 2 years. And because of this data, they have found out that pandas' habitats overlap. Right? So this should be the logical sequence. So even this one is out of 3 points. Let's move on to question number 3 now. So question number 3 is about a drink, like an Indian drink, which is called sharbat. Okay, time up. So what do you think is the given sequence in the correct order?
1,
First
2,
1,
4,
2, 4, 3.
Yes.
It's right.
1, 2, 4,
4,
3
3.
or 1, 2, 3, 4?
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Yeah,
1, 2,
earlier actually, yeah, see 1 and 2 definitely are correct. After that, even I was thinking, should it be 3, 4 or should it be 4, 3?
4, 3.
3, 4.
3, 4.
So we
Because
just have to
other
understand.
example.
Injured
We-
part is referenced.
So we just have to understand this process. What does it say? It says taking energy from the surroundings and cooling the injured part, right?
Yeah.
And that is an explanation of what is given in number 3. Am I correct?
Yes.
So actually it should be 1, 2, 3, 4. The given sequence is correct. And even in the real exam, sometimes this can happen that you get it in the correct order. So you just have to drag it in the same sequence. Okay. All right. So let's move on to the next question, please. All right, guys, you have 2 minutes. Your time starts now. All right, guys, time up. How will it start?
4.
Number 1.
Number
4.
4, 1, 2. 4. Number 1.
Number
4.
1.
I think they're already in correct order.
Yeah, see, again, we have to
1, 2,
start
3.
with the broader part first and then narrow down with examples and the conclusion generally. So actually, it's given in the correct order. This also is in the correct sequence.
1, 2, 3.
So it says that in some areas, like in some countries, the standard chosen language, for example, maybe a variety that originally had no native speakers in the country. Then they are giving an example. In Papua New Guinea, a lot of official businesses is conducted in this language, Tok Pisin. And this language, what is this language over here?
Pidgin.
Pidgin.
No, not Pidgin. I mean, yeah, Pidgin, but it's a variation, it's a variety. So this language is actually referring to Tok Pisin. But many years back, Tok Pisin, it means again the same language, Tok Pisin. It began as a kind of a contact language called a Pidgin. And finally, they are revealing what is a Pidgin. Okay. So try to, link nouns and pronouns like this, it, he, she, and you'll be able to make pairs correctly and much quicker. Okay. All right. So with this, we end reorder paragraphs. There were 4 questions. Total points would be 12, 3, 3, 3, 3. So you can just note down your score total for reorder paragraphs for today. And now we will start with reading fill in the blanks. Okay, so the options are given below. Here they are all in capital initials, like capital letters, sorry. But in the exam, it will not be like that. So just ignore this and choose the best answer, place them in the correct boxes. You have 2 minutes, your time starts now.
Is that surveyor or purveyors? What's that?
Sorry,
The word.
which
Carpet
one?
seller honed their skill as did purveyor.
Which line?
Line 3.
Purveyors, not surveyors, P.
Okay. And what's the meaning of that?
Somebody who sells something like a shopkeeper, a seller.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, guys, time up. Let's please check the answers now. So the first one, it says that annual influx of dash.
Tourists.
Tourists,
Tourist.
visitors,
Yeah, mostly it's
Visitor.
going to be, no, not visitors. It's going to be tourists, you know, because Kashmir is a place where a lot of tourists visit. So they are visitors, but they are specifically tourists most of the times, you know, not only visitors. That's why. The second answer, what will the second answer be? Hyacinth choked dash.
Waters.
Waters.
Yeah, waters of the lake. That's right. Hyacinth is a type of a flower which grows in a lake. The third one, then in 1989, separatist and Islamist.
Military attack.
Attack.
Attacked.
Jews and countless Kashmiri business people dash.
Bolted.
What is the meaning of the word bolted? What does it mean? It means to run for your life. You know, when people are scared and they are feared, they run for their lives. So that's what it means, bolted. Any foreigners venturing there risk their dash.
Lives.
Lives, not life, but lives, because it's plural, right? So lives. So, you know, very important. Over here also you've got two words. One is there, the other is they are.
There.
Yeah, so they are means they are own, and there means at a particular location. So sit here, go there. So a lot of times people mix up the spelling of these two words. Just know the meanings properly. All right, let's move on to question number 2. So it had 5 blanks. Keep on writing your scores, like 3 out of 5, 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5, whatever it is, okay? Okay, question number 2 is on the screen. You have 1 minute 30 seconds. Your time starts now. Okay, guys, let's please check the answers now. All of you can unmute and participate. So it says the morality of the welfare state dash on. Which word did you use with on?
Depends.
Depends.
On. Depends on.
Yes, depends on. That's correct. And since some people don't contribute and many are irresponsible, the choices of those who do contribute and are responsible are either dash the free riders.
Tolerate.
People who are paying, they got, only a few options to choose from. So either they tolerate the free
Tolerate.
riders, so means people getting free benefits, refuse to pay for the dash of their irresponsibility.
Effects.
Against
Yeah, effects of
the
the irresponsibility of those people who are getting those free benefits, or the third option is trust the state to educate them. Hence, the government campaigns dash smoking, alcoholism, obesity, etc.
against
Yeah, so the government has a moral responsibility that it campaigns against all these ills, smoking, blah, 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 etc.
That's 4.
4 numbers.
4.
Yes, 4, sorry. And the last one, and ensuring that the society as a whole dash the new order.
Observes.
Very good, that's correct. Observes the new order means the society has to follow what the government wants them to follow it. They observe it. All right, so please keep on counting your scores. We'll move on to the next question. Question number 3 is on the screen, guys. Your time starts now. You have 1 minute and 40 seconds. Okay, guys, let's check the answers, please. Understanding the number of species we have in our marine environment is a dash need.
Basic need.
Basic need.
Yeah.
Basic.
Is a basic need if we are to protect and conserve our biodiversity. This is dash in today's rapidly changing world. This is
Important.
Important.
important or vital.
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 Yeah, when it's a basic need, it means it's more than important. You need it, which means it's essential, it's vital, not only important. Okay. Not just here in Hong Kong, but
Especially.
Especially.
correct, especially in Southeast Asia. The next sentence says the enormous dash of marine life in Hong Kong.
Array.
Array.
What does the word array mean?
Group.
Worldwide.
Yeah, it means something like a collection, like a collective entity.
Quantity of.
Yeah, together. Yeah, array, like a group of. Yeah. And the last one says the research team welcomed the initiative of the new marine park.
Why?
Along with
Park lane.
See, it's on one side, the research team welcomed the initiative of the new marine park. And at the same time, also means what? At the same time.
While.
Yes, it will be why. Yes. Also urging the government to move forward towards a global target of at least 10% marine life protected by 2020. Okay, all right. Question number 4 has only 4 blanks. Your time starts now. You have 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Non-open Eastern Cotton will be
Okay, let's check the answers, please. So it says that clones of an eastern cottonwood plant in the Bronx and other city spots grew to double the biomass of clones dash outside small towns.
Planted.
Planted.
Yeah. Planted outside small towns on Long Island, says Gillian Gregg. Ozone chemists have known that concentrations may spike skyscraper and city air, but during a full 24 hours, rural trees actually get a higher cumulative ozone exposure from urban pollution that dash in and lingers.
Blows.
Blows.
Now, with the word in, you can only use one word, which is
Yes.
blows.
Blows.
Blows in and lingers means stays in that particular area. A series of new experiments now shows that this hang around ozone is the dash factor in trees.
Major.
Major factor.
See, it can be major as well, and it can also be overwhelming, means the most dominant factor. And as per the passage, the correct answer is overwhelming. So major is not wrong, but overwhelming is a better choice. So in case if you get this in the real exam, please remember the correct answer is overwhelming. Okay. This study has profound importance, means deep importance, a lot of importance, in showing us most vividly that rural areas dash the price for urban pollution.
Pay.
Pay the price.
Unfortunately, pay the price. That's right. Okay. All right. Okay, now you got 2 questions on your screen. You have 4 minutes. Your time starts now. In 4 minutes, try to solve both. Okay, guys, time up. Let's please check the answers now. Let's check question number 5 first. So it says that it's interesting that in our minds, we keep of thinking of the dash discovery like it's the holy grail.
Institute.
No, it's about a doctor, no? So it's
Vaccine.
about health, yeah.
Health.
Vaccine.
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 Of the vaccine discovery, like it's the holy grail. Holy grail is the religious book of Christians mostly. So that's the vaccine discovery is compared with that. But there are a couple of shortcuts that I'd like to unpack. I'm not a doctor, I'm just a dash.
Consultant.
Consultants.
Hmm. My clients focus on healthcare, biopharma companies, providers, global health
Institute.
dash.
Immunization.
Radiation.
Immunization.
Institute.
Institute.
Actually,
Market.
from the given options, the only word which you can fit is market. But there's a spelling mistake. I mean, a small mistake. It should have been institutes over here.
Yes.
And then that will be a better option than market.
Yes.
Because the word before that is plural, right? Providers. So
Providers.
institutes, plural.
Companies.
We need to find the tools to fight COVID and we need to make them dash to all.
Immunization.
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 Available.
All available.
Not available, accessible. There's a slight difference in access and availability. Access means you can reach easily. You have direct access, So accessible is the better option than available. You don't say you make them available to all. You don't say that. You say accessible to all. Okay. Okay, the next one is about color preferences. Blue is the most preferred and popular hue, followed in order by red, green, purple, yellow, and orange. Dash this basic order of color preference. However,
Overlaying.
Or
Overlaying.
overlaying means if you dig deeper, if you analyze a bit more, means overlay it a bit more, there are responses of individuals which of course vary dash.
widely.
Widely.
Yeah, vary widely. Yeah, a lot of differences. Yeah, very widely, and may also be very powerful. Children are likely to have strong dash.
Preferences.
Preferences.
Correct. Preferences for some colors. And aversions to others. Aversion means you dislike something, you don't like something. That's called an aversion. But sometimes they will not admit to them since outside dash may be influential.
Factor.
Even here it should be factors. Outside factors may be influential. Boys in particular may be reluctant to admit to any strong preference for colors dash those of favorite football teams.
Other than.
Other than those of their favorite football teams. Only that they will admit that Manchester United is my favorite, so red is my favorite color, for example. Okay. Okay, so this one is about alchemy, which is a branch of chemistry. Okay, guys, time up. Let's please take the answers now. So to learn the speech of alchemy, which is an early form of chemistry, in which people attempted to turn metals into gold, it helps to think back to a time when there was no dash.
Technology.
Technology.
Science.
See, earlier days, like they are talking of very old days. Anyway, there was no technology back then. Technology is a much later concept, right? Only the 20th century. So the correct answer is science.
Science.
Very old time, you know. No atomic number, no weight, nothing. To the alchemists, the dash was not made of leptons, boson, gluons. The what?
Meditation.
The universe.
Yeah, to
The
universe. Yeah.
Universe.
So to these alchemists, the universe was not made of these particles, you know. Instead, it was made of substances. For example, walnut oil could be just as dash as another.
Pure.
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 Could be as pure as another. Say silver. Even though modern dash would say, modern who?
Technology.
Sciences.
Scientist.
Modern scientists. Because it's about science and comparing the science of the old with the science of the new. So modern scientists. So they would say one substance like oil is heterogeneous and silver is homogeneous. Without knowledge of atomic structures, how would it be dashed to tell elements from compounds?
Possible.
Yeah, how would it be possible?
Possible.
The last option, last answer is possible. Okay. Question number 8 is on the screen, guys. Your time starts now. Okay, guys, time up. Let's please check the answers now. Charles Darwin knew intuitively that tropical forests were places of dash, intricacy, and energy.
Tremendous.
Tremendous.
And yes,
Well,
comments.
Wait.
Tremendous intricacy. Intricacy means complexity.
Comments.
He and his cohort means friends or group, of scientific naturalists were dashed by the beauty of the neotropics.
Admit.
well,
Await.
Out.
Admit.
Admire.
See,
Out.
Out.
okay, listen to me. Admire means you can admire somebody. For example, I admire Bill Gates. Okay, but here they are saying that the people were dashed by the beauty of the forest.
Influenced.
influence.
Influenced.
Influenced, grammatically, you can fit the word influenced, but it doesn't
Is-
make much sense, you know?
Is out.
Yeah,
Await.
so this word is pronounced as odd. Odd.
Odd.
It's actually pronounced as odd.
Okay.
Okay.
So what
Means
is the
they were-
meaning of it?
They were
Wonders.
pleasantly surprised and
They were
shocked by
surprised.
the
or
beauty of
wonders.
what they saw. So they were pleasantly surprised and shocked by the beauty and the complexity of the forest. Odd. That's the correct answer. Where they collected tens of thousands of dash new to science.
Species.
Species.
Now that is very easy. Species new to science. But they couldn't have guessed at the complete contents of the rainforest, and they had no idea of its dash to humankind.
Value.
Value.
Yeah, the last will be value to something. Okay, question number 9 is on the screen, guys. Your time starts now.
To qualify as a conservancy, a committee must define
Conservancy boundary. Let
Okay, let's check the answers, please. To qualify as a conservancy, a committee must define the conservancy's boundary, elect a dash conservancy committee.
Representative.
Representative.
Yeah, a committee which represents the
Representative.
conservancy, correct? A representative committee. A legal constitution. Prove the committee's ability to dash funds.
Manage.
Manage.
After to, we need a verb in the first form, so it will be to manage funds.
Manage.
And produce an acceptable plan for dash distribution of wildlife related benefits.
Equitable.
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 So here actually two words convert. One is equitable, the other is equal. The correct answer is equitable.
Equable.
So the word equitable means fair. Once approved, registered conservancies acquire the dash.
Agreement.
Right.
Right.
Acquire the rights.
They
Right.
acquire the rights.
Rights.
It's like a long-term lease. So they acquire the rights for that area or to that area. Okay, the next question will be the last question for today.
Just to remember.
All right, guys, time up. Let's please check the answers now. A good story may be given a bad title by its author and so started toward failure. Novices are particularly dashed to this fault.
Responsible.
Responsible.
Liable.
Liable.
See, with responsible, generally we say responsible for something, FOR, not responsible to.
Liable to.
That's correct. So the correct answer is liable to.
Liable.
Means they owe a duty to, or they are more likely to make this mistake. And this word comes in listening blanks, sometimes novices. It means somebody who is new at something, a novice, like an amateur. Usually through dash themselves to be too easily satisfied.
Allowing.
Correct. Allowing themselves to be satisfied too easily without trying a lot, you know. They go to dash pains to make the story itself fresh and individual.
Infinite.
Vast.
Yeah, you don't say vast pains. In English, you always say infinite pains.
Infinite.
Yeah, it's an uncountable thing, no? So infinite pains means they go to any extent to make the story itself fresh and individual, and then cap it with a dash phrase that is worse than no title at all.
Mystery. Mystery.
No, no.
Commonplace. Commonplace.
Yeah. So they take so much effort, you know, to make it sound like a news story, and then they cap it with a commonplace phrase, means like a useless phrase, something which is very common. So basically, it kills the charm of the entire story, sort of. It stands definitely for that particular story. It means the title, and it gives a suggestion of what is to come, but only a suggestion, lest it should anticipate the denouement, and so
Satisfying.
so dash the curiosity of the reader
Satisfying.
to satisfy. That's correct.
Satisfying.
Anticipate the word is pronounced as denouement, like denouement, M-A. It means the last part of a story, like leading to a conclusion. It's a French word actually, like it has French roots. So this question was a bit difficult actually, a lot of vocabulary. Anyway, so guys, that was the last question. Now all of you can quickly do a total of your scores, and you can just share it in the chat with me so that I can tell you an approximate band score. Don't share the reorder paragraphs marks. Share only for fill in the blanks, okay? There were 10 blanks. The total should be somewhere between 40 to 50 approximately.
These creators have the 10 worst.
So I've seen some scores. Monica, that'll be 7.5. I think the total is out of 47. Jagjit, for you too, 7.5. Merin, 7. Hiral, 8.5. Farida, between 6.5 and 7. Darshak, 7. Gaurav, close to 7, but just a bit less than 7, Gaurav. Randa, close to 7.5. Forum, close to 7.5. Nancy, very close to 7. Rajpinder, close to 7, but a bit less, between 6.5 and 7. Honey, that's around 6. Need to work a bit more. Renuka, close to 7, just a bit less than 7 actually. Irfan, between 7 and 7.5, need to be a bit more accurate. Bansari, 7.5, close to 8. Anyone else? Would anybody else like to share their scores? Okay, Zeal 7.5, Geeta 7, Pooja close to 7, just 1 point less than 7, Pooja. Yashodhara close to 7, 1 point less than 7. Gunjan close to 7.5. Harpreet Kaur 8. Anyone else? Okay. Dhara between 5.5 and 6. Need to brush up a bit more. Sabitha close to 7, just 1 point less than 7. Okay. All right, guys. So I think with that we will, okay, one more. Amit close to 7, just 1 point less than 7. So that'll be around 64. You can surely increase it with your performance in read aloud. Okay. All right, guys. So I think with that, we will end today's class. Thank you very much for your time. And if you have time on Saturdays and Sundays, please do attend. The class will be from 10:30 to 1:30 Melbourne time. If you're in India, that will be from 5 to 8, 3 hours. All right.
So tomorrow, what we will be doing, sir?
Tomorrow will be a speaking and writing practice class taken by 𝐏𝐲𝐿 sir. And Sunday will be a reading and listening class.
And that all from Abhishek, sir.
Yes, 𝐏𝐿 sir will be taking it. But if you practice anything and if you want my feedback as well, you can share with me on my WhatsApp as well. So anything, for example, any sample you want me to check, you can send anytime.
Okay.
Or if you practice something on the portal as well, you can also tell Abhishek to check. You can also ask me to check. We will check it for you and give you feedback.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you.
Once again, before we
Thank
end, okay. Okay, Renuka has a question. Can you guide me how to improve the score in reading? Also want to know how to improve fluency, facing issues in repeat sentence sometimes. See, the reading score comes from a lot of tasks. The main tasks which contribute to reading are generally 3 to 4 major tasks. One is read aloud in speaking. That's the most important task for the reading score. Second is reading fill in the blanks and reading and writing fill in the blanks. So read aloud will give around 20 to 22 points in reading. Reading blanks and reading and writing blanks. So both the types of blanks in the reading section will give approximately 35 points or maximum 40 points in reading. So 40 plus 20 is approximately 60 points from just 3 tasks. Fourth is highlight incorrect words, which is the second last task in listening, task number 7, just before write from dictation. That task will generally give 6 to 10 points in reading. And the fifth task is summarize written text, the first task in writing. That will give approximately 4 to 5 points into the reading score. So generally what I suggest is, a lot of times people focus so much on fill in the blanks and reorder paragraphs to improve their reading score that they forget the very basic and simple fact that almost 30 points in reading will come from read aloud and highlight incorrect words, just 2 tasks, and maybe 5 more from summarize written text. That's around 35 points. And the most important task is read aloud, which is also the first task in the exam, which means that when the test starts, it is very natural to have, some fears in your mind. You might be a bit nervous. You might be a bit anxious because a lot of thoughts come in the mind, It's a pressure situation for a lot of people. And that is the main test, how you keep your mind composed, how you keep yourself confident and calm. So if read aloud goes well, it will set a very good momentum for the entire remaining test also. It's a very psychological thing. If the first 3-4 questions go well, you'll feel good about yourself. So try to maximize your score and read aloud. Don't be very fast. Don't be very slow. Be relaxed. Also, in the 35 seconds before the beep sound and read aloud, try to understand the meaning of the passage in front of you, as if you're a news reader. How should you speak the passage? Where should you take the correct, small, proper pauses so that your listener can understand? If you understand that process, you will automatically start taking correct pauses. And guaranteed, the reading score will spike up. It will just go up very quickly. For example, if I have to read this passage and read aloud, first 35 seconds, I'll actually read it aloud, not in my mind. I'll actually speak it so that my brain hears my words. We are allowed to do that in the exam, not very loudly, but softly. But just to give an example of the correct speed and the correct fluency, just hear me out. And the voice should remain very confident. The voice should remain very steady. It should not go up and down. One of the major mistakes which a lot of people make in read aloud is people inherently have a natural tendency to stress on words. So that, it's like you're hitting a hammer on every word you speak. Don't do that. You as anybody should not do that. No, I'm not pointing out anyone. Try to keep your voice smooth and confident at the same time. So this passage you can read like this, for example. But before that, you have to understand, like this is a very small sentence. So actually, there is no need to take a pause at this comma. Even in the second sentence, there is no need to take. So comma, it can be deceptive. That is what PT is testing. Whether you're understanding the meaning or whether you're just literally seeing a comma, taking a pause. You don't have to pause at every comma. But here, before this comma and, it's a lengthy sentence and it's a separate phrase altogether after that. So you must take a small pause over here. This is also a tricky situation, like apt comma, specific comma, attractive comma, new comma. You should not take a pause. When there is a comma multiple times back to back, no need to take a pause. It depends actually. So I'll just read it now. A good story may be given a bad title by its author and so started toward failure. Novices are peculiarly dashed to this fault, usually through dash themselves to be too easily satisfied. They go to infinite pains to make the story itself fresh and individual, and then cap it with a dash phrase that is worse than no title at all. A good title is apt, specific, attractive, new, and short. A title is apt if it is an outright of the plot, a text as I have said. It stands definitely for that particular story and gives a suggestion of what is to come, but only a suggestion, lest it should anticipate the denouement and so dash the curiosity of the reader too soon. So I took a small pause at this hyphen. I took a small pause at this hyphen. Took a small pause at this comma, right? Because after that comma, the last part was very lengthy. So it's all about taking the correct pauses and not taking the incorrect pauses, because sometimes, people breathe at the wrong time. So again, it is a wrong pause. So again, the fluency might go down a bit, So in the beginning of the test, the first 10 minutes, you have to be very relaxed, very sharp at what you're doing. And that is the quality which sets apart people who get 8 each and people who struggle sometimes, due to pressure. So if you can manage pressure well, you will get a good score. To improve reading blanks and reading writing blanks, every day you must practice, 45 minutes or 1 hour, depending on your level. Some people have very good vocabulary and grammar, so they don't need to practice so much. But if you think that you're not that great, then obviously you can spend 30-40 minutes on practicing from the portal. If you don't have a lot of time to practice from the portal, then just read the questions from the prediction file, Don't blindly memorize questions, just read them, Try to understand what it's saying. Try to, as if you're reading a magazine, The main thing is sometimes people find, why they don't get a good score in reading blanks is because they get bored very easily. So if the topic is not of your liking, you might not feel engrossed enough, So that mentality we have to change. You have to like each and everything. So don't take it as a test, just take it as, okay, I have to read it, I try to enjoy the process. Automatically, you will start solving it. And with blanks, a lot of time people overthink their answers. That is also a mistake. Always go with your instinct, your gut feeling. Most of the times you will see that the answer which you think first generally will be correct. But if you change it, it will be wrong. And that you will realize when you check it. So just go with the flow of the passage, the context. What is the passage saying? Is it something positive? Is it something negative? Check some basic rules of grammar. Is it a blank after to, for example? Is it after is, was, are, were? So, there's also a grammar sheet. If you check the portal, on the right hand top side of your login, there's a button called materials. If you click on that button, you can see a collocation list. You will see the latest prediction file. And you will also see my grammar rules sheet, which you can download on your laptop. So that also will help. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And as I said, if you guys, any one of you is in Melbourne, you can come to, you can take the mock test at home also. But if you come to the lab, you will get a good feeling because it's a computerized lab. It's pretty big in size. So at least you get that feeling because you'll find like-minded students like you in the lab, practicing the whole day. So at least you can also get that environment and you will also feel encouraged to perform well in your upcoming exam. And if you practice at home, make sure that you keep some disturbance on in the background, like keep some music on, TV on, because in the real exam, it is going to be a bit noisy. In speaking, everybody will speak together. So when long back, I used to practice like 8 years, 9 years back when I started this journey, when I was a student myself, preparing to get 8 each or 9 each, whatever. I always tried to find the most noisy place in my surroundings, And then I used to take a mock test, like in a canteen or a pantry, like hundreds of people around me. And still I used to get 90 out of 90 in those mock tests sold by Pearson. So then I realized that if I can get a perfect score in such a noisy environment, in the real exam, it's going to be very easy for me. And that is always, it is true. And it was easy for me. So you have to condition your brain like that, The other thing which I can suggest is, let's say you have booked your actual exam at 12 p.m. on a particular day. So even the mock tests or even your study plan or the hours when you will study, you should try to study in those hours, like 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. so that the brain gets used to its peak performance in that time zone. Sometimes I know it's not possible, because you might have booked a test on a holiday at 12 p.m., but on the remaining days, you might be at your job at 12 p.m. So it's not always possible. But still, it's a good practice if you can do that, because the brain also needs some time to get used to that time zone. That from 12 to 3, it will be at its peak performance for PT, So compartmentalize that time in your brain like that. All right, guys. So I think that's all. I hope it helped, and I'll see you all soon. And as I said, if you have any questions, you can ask me or Abhishek, and we'll just help you. All right. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good day and see you all soon. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good day, guys. Bye. Take care.